Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Mind of Reese. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad to be back. And before we get into the episode of prioritizing the relationship with yourself, why? Because it could make you more money. Ooh. I know that's a juicy one. I know I hooked you with that one. Before we get into that, I'm so excited that Inkspired Academy is now open for spring enrollment, and it is Inkspired Academy 2.0. This means I have revamped it, and all of these revamps are coming along with the $90,000 in mentorship that I spent last year. I'm putting all of it in there. This is the up leveling that took my business for 2x my business from 300K to 600K in 1 year. And so I am putting all of this new juice, this new knowledge, all of these up levelings, this new leadership into this course. So this is a whole other brand and a whole other conversation, expanded conversation that we are going to be having. This is my tattoo business mastery course, 10 weeks. It's kind of like a morph of a program plus mentoring and live mentoring and laser coaching. And so if you are interested in creating a tattoo business, a holistic tattoo business of sustainable growth and longevity, go check it out. We are in early bird. Get yourself some money off. Be a part of the vortex. It is a vibe. You want community? This is where it's at. I also have some room in my VIP one-on-one. I have 2 spaces left, which I'm so excited. This is one of my most intimate containers where we just do life and business together. This is for the tattoopreneur who is scaling up to 6 figures and beyond, the one that really is ready to be held accountable in their business so that they can collapse time around where they are and where they want to go. And so if you want to take a look into that, go ahead, check the show notes, all the good stuff. That is it for now. Let's get into this episode. Welcome back to another episode of The Mind of Reese. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be back doing the podcast. In the last few weeks, I have been so inundated and engulfed and focused on booked out. And whenever I have a program out or a launch happening or something, I always want to make sure that I'm prioritizing myself to make sure that I have the energy to give to the students, especially to the people that invest in themselves into the programs that I offer. And so this is something that, of course, this is happening. Of course, I'm going to miss a few episodes. And even though, and this is something that we're just going to touch on, but even though I have promised myself, I'm going to do a podcast once a week. I'm going to put a YouTube out every other week. I'm going to post XYZ. It's like, how can I allow myself flow in all of the structure that I have put in place for myself? And so this is where balance really comes into play. And I really love the fact that I can hold myself to the leadership standard that I am, to the leader that I aspire to be, in order to pick and choose and prioritize the things that are going to be given 100% to the community and serve them as best that I can. And this does mean that sometimes less is more. I'm not going to do the podcast. I won't do YouTubes. We won't do other things, so I can put my full time and energy and focus into a thing that I'm really passionate about, which, I only have so much energy within my tank to offer. And so this is where I truly believe that, we'll touch on this topic of why it's so important to prioritize the relationship with yourself over any other relationship that you have in your life, because the one that when you prioritize this with yourself, the sustainability of your business will become scalable and grow over time, and you'll have longevity, foundation based on longevity. And so instead of foundation based off of right here, right now, I need all the things, let me do, let me overwork, overwhelm, all of the things within your business just to try and make some mark. And so this is really, when you prioritize the relationship with yourself, you end up prioritizing the scalability of your business, which is so funny because you wouldn't think that, if you're looking at it from a male, patriarchal, not male, but patriarchal, societal conditioned old paradigm business models, you won't see them saying that, oh, you need to prioritize a relationship with yourself. They're going to say, no, 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 you're going to need to do, you need to work, you need to hustle, all this hustle culture idea around it. And now that we're shifting paradigms, we're shifting worlds, this is new earth, and we're not doing business the same old way as everybody else is. We're doing life and business ourselves by our own design. This is where we really actually get the chance to choose what the priority is and how that helps. And so prioritizing yourself, the relationship with yourself, sets the standards for how all your other relationships are within your life and business. And this means with your clients, with how you show up to your potential clients, even in the online world. And so when I look at this idea behind prioritization of yourself, it's really, at the end of the day, when I prioritize myself, what ends up happening is that I become an entrepreneur who trusts their business, that like my business got me. Like at the end of the day, if I know that I've got me, I can prioritize this relationship. By this prioritization, the byproduct of that is that I know that my business has got me and it's sustainable and it's growing, even when my inner world or my personal world needs me to take time for that. So when we look at this, we all know that like your inner world reflects your outer world, and that healing is your business. So the more that you heal within you, the more you have the resources, the rituals, the tools in order to hold yourself through the ebbs in your internal world, whatever that might look like in your personal life and the relationships that you have, whatever, that is going to reflect and coincide and really be the foundation of your business and how that grows. So if you can't hold yourself in the internal world, what makes you think you're going to be able to do it in the external world when your internal world looks like your external world? And this is a big reason why I love community and mentorship, like my own mentorship. Like I love being held accountable. I love someone telling me, oh, you're going to get to know my patterns. And I love it when like my mentors, they know me so well. They're like, oh, Reese, this is one of your patterns. Like, how can we shift this? How can we move from this? How can we pattern interrupt and keep growing and grow from there? And so when I'm getting offered these tools by my own mentors and by my own community, and just like being surrounded by people that are like-minded, I'm like, yeah, boss, like, let's go. You're absolutely right. Let me pattern interrupt. Let me shift real quick and then alchemize, process, and move forward, creating the tools and resources within me to hold myself through the ebbs, and then also creating those same resources, because it takes those same tools to create sustainable growth within your business. And so when I look at this as a whole, I'm like, okay, so the priority here is me. How can I hold me so well so that I can hold my business so well and create room for growth in the capacity of, like, in my energetic capacity? So we can only hold so much, right? In our business, we can only hold so many clients. We can only hold so many problems, quote unquote. We can only hold so many beliefs within us. We can only hold so much. Like, it's not an infinite amount of room that I can just hold. So we need to clean some of this shit up in order for us to, or at least understand it in a way that we can utilize it as momentum or remove it and put something else in its place that serves us better. And so when we are prioritizing ourselves, we begin to trust our business a lot more to hold us. Trusting your business is like you're super excited about what you are, offering, like the tattoos that you're doing. You're excited about the experience that you offer. You trust your channels, the creative flow, your creative conduit flow that comes from you. You feel super relaxed and turned on by your business. It's not a burden. Your business is not a burden. We blame our business for so many things, like, oh, it's the reason why I can't get any sleep. It's the reason why. No. Don't blame your business for that. That's a you problem. That's a you not prioritizing yourself problem. And that's the reason why your business could potentially be stagnant or just getting by, quote unquote. And so this is why when we look at our business and we're not turned on by our business, that's That's a you question. That's like, okay, so what in my business that I'm not turned on by, can I either shift it, or am I playing victim and refusing to take responsibility for what's going on in my internal world, blaming my business for the reasons why I feel the way that I feel? When in that statement alone has a lot of I's in it and not business in it. So when we look at healing is your business, it absolutely is. And so if you don't feel relaxed in your business, you're always feeling like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen next month? You're not trusting. You're not an entrepreneur who trusts their business, which looks like you check your post every 5 seconds to see how it's doing. You're constantly checking to see if people are clicking a link, or your website or your email, or you're checking your email all the time to see if anybody's booked in, or you spend so much time worrying about that you won't make enough money, and you're trying to create content based on what you think people want rather than what's super heart-led. And the way that I look at it is that you make more money when you trust your business, but the only way to trust your business is to prioritize the relationship with yourself. And when we can do that, again, like I said, the sustainability factor of your business is really tight knit and it's solid. What I would do if this all started over again, I would rather spend more time prioritizing myself so that I could build a business and create longevity over time. Instead of trying to make my business a quick fix or a fast win where I'm like, okay, let me just go, do all the things and make it this month, and then have the same feeling next month and the next month, and continuously perpetuate this unease and distrust and anxiety and pressure on my business to sustain me when I can't even sustain myself, when I can't even create the foundations and structure within myself to hold myself in the hard times, in the ebbs. Like, I want to be able to trust my business so much that whenever we do have ebbs and flows, I'm looking at it the long game, and I'm like, yeah, no, this is going to be okay. Like, yeah, this month didn't do as well. That's okay. Ebbs and flows. I like to believe in magic. When I believe in magic and I trust in my business because I've prioritized myself and healing myself so much that I have the tools, I have the strategies, I have the processes that allow me to hold myself when things feel constricting, when they contract within my body, when they feel sticky. That's the trust within my business that I have, so that when I'm like, oh yeah, this month, whatever, like, I could have looked at last December and been like, oh shit, I'm negative 9,000 for the month, but that's because I took most of the month off, instead of looking at it like, no, I prioritize myself this month and I'm okay because I got me. My business model is perfect. I could always just show up, put something out there through my heart, know that my heart and my channels are so fucking epic and in tune and juicy, and people want to be a part of the things that I offer because I know that they are beautiful. The tattoos that I create, the experience that I offer, the energy that I have, the knowledge that I have around business, like, I know people want to be a part of that. And so I got me. So I'm good. I am an entrepreneur who trusts in their business, and I know I'm going to make more money from that. So if 1 month is like a little down, how about I look at it like, cool, yeah, I believe that things can go way up and they can go way down, and I'd rather have magic in my life than have just a flat rate of knowing exactly what I'm going to make. If I want to have a knowing, I want predictability, I want a predictable life, I'm going to make predictable decisions. I might as well just do a 9 to 5. If I want magic, if I want to believe and trust in the universe and the divine, and know that I am always being held and the universe is conspiring for me at every given moment because of this trust that I have, and because of the processes and strategies and structures I have within myself to hold me and to sustain me, then I'm going to believe that the magic that comes is like, yeah, I'm not going to make $9,000 that month, but I also made the exchange that I'm not going to work and I'm going to prioritize myself. And I'm also going to prioritize myself in the moments when I'm feeling so fucking in my energy And I'm like, yeah, this is where I'm going to put all of my efforts. I'm going to put my energy into this. I'm going to lead with my heart. And at the end of the day, whatever happens, happens. But honestly, I'm going to believe in the magic that everything's in my favor and it's working out. And boom shakalaka, 36K a month. And then it's like, awesome. So I'd rather have ebbs and flows in the dollar amount, on a monthly dollar amount, and know that magic is always waiting to happen, and that my $1 million year can come in any way. I just gotta open myself and be energetically and have open to invitation to come in my space and create things that really light me the fuck up and really make my business feel like a turn on for me. That's all I care about. The money will just come after that. It's all about the energy. When we're talking about being on the same frequency of money and the things that I desire, I better fucking up level that. I'm not going to be a person, an entrepreneur, a tattoo-preneur who doesn't trust their business and who doesn't pray. And with that untrust, we create wobbly foundations within our business. So for me, prioritizing the relationship with yourself should be the number one thing that you do over everything. And I'm talking even your kids. Like, it's like we always want to put them first, but then that them first feeling comes with like, let's put my clients first, and then let's put, this first and that first, and then you start to fall at the wayside. Then you start to have to try and like tamp down all of the stresses and anxieties and things that are coming up in your life, and then you start to physically feel things that you're like, wow, I gotta tamp that down because I still need to work, and even though my back hurts, I'm going to tamp that down. And then you're literally giving from an empty cup. And what kind of frequency are you emitting from that? If you have zero energy, if you're not in love with your business, you're just hoping your business to just stays still. It just keeps you afloat. Then don't don't prioritize yourself. But at the end of the day, that's not going to be sustainable. Something's going to break. Physically, literally, metaphorically, mentally. One of these things are going to break. And this is like the perpetual self-sabotaging cycle where we're like, no, I'm going to prioritize myself. But then we don't actually understand why prioritizing ourselves is so important. It's so important because it's the main factor for how your business can scale and how you can make more money. So you want to make more money, prioritize the relationship with yourself. Know and understand, like truly embody that healing is your business. That the inner workings of your world, the internal world, is what creates every little thing outside of you. Every little experience you have, the way that you see things, your perspectives, the way that you handle people, the way you handle conflict, the relationship that you have with fear is going to directly coincide with the relationship that you have with yourself. And so I would like to inspire and implore you that this is much bigger than just you. It's for everyone involved, and for every client, all the business that you have. It's literally a direct reflection. So I'm not just talking about self-care and self-love. I'm not talking like, oh, let's go, like get mani-pedis and things like that. No. I'm talking about like true depth, shadow work, getting in there, like pattern correcting when things get really sticky, things happen. Like, how can you really relax and be chill when things are just not going your way? Like, these are your biggest initiations and up levels when you have an opportunity that is like when you're having an experience that is quote unquote not going your way. How can you be really aware of it? Let awareness be your superpower in this. It is your superpower. If you can become really hyper aware of who you are, this is a prioritization to you. this is prioritizing you by being so self-aware and taking radical responsibility of all the things that are going on in your life. That is what prioritization is. That is you prioritizing you, because you're taking the time, and it's energy. It takes a lot of fucking energy to be self-aware. It takes a lot of energy to be aware of yourself. But when you truly have a knowing within your whole body, mind, soul, that by prioritizing yourself is actually going to make you more money, then you're going to do it. You know what I mean? Like, when you're like, oh shit, like, me prioritizing me going and getting therapy, mentorship, me doing this and that, it's going to collapse time around where I am and where I want to go. It's actually going to make me more money. And I'm actually going to have a really fun, easeful, peaceful time throughout my journey in my business and in my life. Sign me the fuck up. Like, that's where I'm at. And so this was my sweet little, tiny little podcast episode for you guys today. It's, if there's one thing that I can really offer you, it's just look at what prioritizing yourself really means. Look at what prioritizing the relationship with yourself really means, and what you believe it can actually get you. Like, let's be real. The moment I prioritized myself in my business is the moment I 2x'd my business from 300 to 600K a year. The moment I 2x'd my income from just tattooing from 10 to 25K a month. And you know, it's the moment that I started calling in even more aligned on the soul level clients than ever before. Like, I never thought that I could get even more aligned, and I can still get even more aligned. Like, this is where, when we can be fully embodied in our own alignment, because we have prioritized the relationship with ourselves, because we decided that I am going to hone in on my superpower of awareness and really take the time to take radical responsibility for every single thing that is going on in my life, I am going to literally not only up-level my leadership, up-level my business, be able to hold the capacity for more, not only just more clients, more money, more energy, all this stuff. Like, there was no way you could have told me that I would have had a YouTube, a podcast, I post on TikTok and Instagram, it all in a month, and have the energy to do so, plus be with my clients, plus be with my one-on-ones, plus be with my apprentice, plus do all these programs. Like, you could not have told me that I would have been able to do all of these things. But I have the energetic capacity, because I work that muscle. I was like, wow, let me clean up all of this energy that is not serving me, and clear this space. And once I've cleared that space, I was like, wow, I have the energetic capacity to do a lot, and I'm stoked. And it's not like it doesn't feel like I'm doing a lot, because I'm just so fucking obsessed with it. Like, this is my life. Like, I love this. I love my life. I love my business. I'm so fucking obsessed with my business. I'm so obsessed with helping people and seeing people through and letting people really shine, like, really see themselves as limitless potential. Like, that is the whole purpose of my whole heart and soul. This is the brand mission and movement of my business, that I'm like, yeah, I live, breathe, and die like fucking personal development, and how it really coincides with business, and how it will reflect in the amount of money you make, in the relationships that you have, in the business that you have, in the longevity that you have. Like, there's no way that with what I do and what I have created, will I break my back and hands, because I'm doing something that I'm so fucking passionate about. I'm not just doing it just to get by. If I wanted to just get by, I would do predictable things. If I wanted a predictable life, I would make predictable decisions. This is New Paradigm, New Earth business. So we are talking about a totally and completely different design of business that you've never, ever seen before, because it's your own. And the only It's really designed by you and intuition and spirit. It's not designed by, oh, the 1, 2, 3 strategy steps. Like, you can have all the strategy and steps, but it does not mean that you're going to have a successful business until you can prioritize the relationship with yourself, that you know yourself so well, so intuition can allow flow through your own body, and you can really understand what it is you are meant to do in the collective conscious, like in this collective world. How are you meant to help? Because if you don't even know that part of it, then we got to really back it up a little bit. If we have a business that we've been doing for 11 years and we still don't know ourselves well enough to know any of these things, we need to pump the brakes, because whatever we're doing is not going to be sustainable, especially not for scalability and not for growth. It might get you by, but I'm not the kind of person that just wants to get by. And I don't think you are either, because you wouldn't be listening to this podcast if it was. So this is my sweet, sweet, sweet nectar, my honey juice to you on this beautiful whatever day you're listening to it. And so I love you. Prioritize the relationship with yourself. It'll mean so many more things than what you think. It's not just some nice line to hear during the day. It's not just like, I need to prioritize the relationship with myself. It's like, no, motherfucker, I'm going to prioritize the relationship with myself because I want my business to grow. I love you so much. You guys have a great, great day. And I'll see you in the next episode.